Song Joong Ki was on top of the world of Korean entertainment for years, but fans have slowly turned their back on him, and a series of flops might be a sign that his fame is starting to disappear. He began his acting career in 2008 and had his breakthrough 2 years later after starring as one of the main characters in the popular series Sung Kyung-kwan Scandal. He then became an established star thanks to his appearance as the male lead in the movie A Werewolf Boy in 2012 and the drama Descendants of the Sun in 2016. With his popularity rising to new heights, he was beloved by fans all over the world, but this doesn't mean that he was immune from scandals and criticism. In 2017, he surprised the entertainment industry by marrying his Descendants of the Sun co-star Song Hye-kyo, but even more shockingly, the couple divorced just 2 years later. Rumors and speculation about the reasons behind the divorce ran wild over the following months, with Hye-kyo's company simply stating that there was a difference in personality between the two. Sometime later, it was reported that it was Joong Ki who filed for divorce, and he apparently did so without even telling his then wife. No further details were given, so it's still unknown what really happened between them, but there have been rumors that Joong Ki might have had an affair with his makeup artist, even if there was no infidelity involved. The way he blindsided Hye-kyo about the divorce has left a bad taste in people's mouths, to the point that they can't get over it. It's safe to say that his image was tarnished by this controversy, and many fans turned on him, but he was still able to weather the storm and return to his successful acting career. The huge popularity of his drama Vincenzo in 2021 made him an international star, and after a few complicated years, things were looking up for Joong Ki. In 2022, he cemented his popularity by starring as the main character in the series Reborn Rich, but soon afterward, his love life made headlines once again. That December, he announced that he was dating a British woman who was later revealed to be the actress Katie Louise Saunders. In the following months, the couple got married and welcomed their first son, but Joong Ki received a lot of backlash after making some controversial statements. First, he talked about his relationship with his wife, saying that she helped him balance his emotions. However, netizens noticed that he previously said the same thing about Hye-kyo, and for this very reason, many called him fake. Then he made things worse when he talked about his feelings on becoming a father and said, "Becoming a father and a husband can also mean actors will be losing their jobs. It seems that getting married and having a baby may gradually make me lose many projects." He added that he wasn't afraid of this issue, but many criticized him for this statement, pointing out how male actors usually continue their careers without issues after becoming parents, while actresses who become mothers often lose roles in popularity and they have to put their career on hold for a long time. Netizens were really upset with Joong Ki for his statements, and the controversy had a huge impact on his image and his career. Despite the fact that it was screened at the Cannes Film Festival, his 2023 movie Hopeless failed to attract a domestic audience when it was released in South Korea that October. The film was harshly criticized for lacking a clear and compelling storyline and for its inconsistent character development, and the movie suffered from financial losses after its underwhelming performance at the box office. This flop was another setback for Joong Ki's career, and his reputation as a major celebrity began to be questioned by fans and industry insiders, with netizens pointing out that his star power wasn't enough to attract audiences. Joong Ki acknowledged the criticism, but he dismissed the flop of his movie by arguing that he was aiming for something bigger, and his real goal was expanding his career to the global stage. Chasing this goal, he began to look for acting gigs outside of his home country, but it seems likely that he was also trying to get away from the constant criticism directed at him by Korean netizens. In fact, many people in Korea criticized him for seeking a job abroad, arguing that he was only doing this because he married a foreigner. Joong Ki addressed these rumors by saying that he has tried global auditions for many years, not because of his wife, but because he wanted to try different cultures and new genres. However, things didn't turn out too well for Joong Ki, and he confessed that he failed every single audition for international projects. It's unclear why he failed, but an issue that might be impacting Joong Ki's chances with international roles is the language barrier, since he has struggled for a long time with speaking English. While he has sometimes shown that he's able to speak English, and he has definitely improved over the years, his skills still require a lot of refinement. Joong Ki confessed his ongoing struggle with the English language by revealing that it's also a challenge at home and that he has to speak with his son in Korean because his English isn't that good. In any case, his failure to get international roles meant that Joong Ki returned to Korea, and in 2024, he starred as the male lead in the movie My Name is Lo Ki-won. While this film attracted some attention and even topped the Netflix charts, it wasn't exactly a success, as it came under fire for its plot and a few controversial scenes. The movie follows the story of a North Korean defector who escapes to Belgium and falls in love with a Korean woman who's facing some hard times. While this might seem like an interesting premise, many critics found the storyline weak and uncomfortable. Some pointed out that the relationship that develops between the leads felt too sudden and even forced, while the main characters remained too one-dimensional. What makes things worse is that the love story between the main characters isn't even in the original novel the film is based on, but the director still chose to include some steamy scenes that show the lovers in intimate situations. The director defended her decision by saying that the steamy scenes help balance the story, and she felt like love was the only reason why the characters made some seemingly illogical choices in the movie. Joong Ki also addressed the criticism, confessing that he also had a lot of doubts about the plot when he first read the script, and he even refused the role initially for this exact reason. However, he said that when he received the same script 5 years later, he began to appreciate the story more, and he ultimately accepted the role. Joong Ki added that despite the harsh reviews, he still loved to work on this movie, and he was satisfied with how it turned out. However, things got much worse for him after the release of his next project, the film Bogota, City of the Lost, which is centered around a group of Korean immigrants who move to Colombia and find themselves involved in the black market of the country. The movie actually began production in 2019, but filming had to be halted the following year because of the pandemic, and a long series of issues and delays followed. Ahead of its release, the cast of the film, which also includes other established stars such as Lee Hee-jun and Kwon Hae-hyo, built up the hype by underlining the unique setting of Colombia, which is rarely seen in Korean productions, and expressing how much they loved working on this movie. However, when the film was finally released on December 31st, 2024, it flopped massively. The long-awaited film only attracted around 300,000 viewers in its first week, ranking third at the box office behind Harbin and Firefighters, which were both released earlier. The movie also received a lot of criticism, with viewers pointing out issues with the seemingly illogical plot and flat characters, and many calling it boring. With the previous flop of Hopeless, Bogota, City of the Lost marked Joong Ki's second consecutive flop at the box office. Adding these underwhelming performances to the harsh criticism received by My Name is Lo Kwan, which was only released on Netflix, reveals a worrying pattern. Netizens are now discussing whether Joong Ki has lost his touch, with many arguing that he's often playing similar characters, and others saying that his movies are always dull. In fact, many netizens believe that the problem is that he starred in too many mediocre films, and people nowadays don't watch movies just because a certain actor is in it. Some netizens are more critical, arguing that he was never really a hit actor, and others even stating that he has ruined his image so much that they don't want to see him anymore. However, some people online instead think that the flop of his latest projects isn't a big deal, and he will have another hit someday, while many prefer seeing him in dramas rather than films. This argument has also caused a lot of discussion after netizens noticed that Joong Ki hasn't played many leading roles in dramas, but every time he did, the series became a success. In the midst of all this criticism, Joong Ki attended an event to promote his latest movie alongside his co-star Hee-jun and with actor Lee Sung-min as a special guest. However, very few people attended the event, and Sung-min confessed that it was heartbreaking to see the theater almost empty. Joong Ki then expressed his thoughts, saying that Korean movies are struggling and are becoming increasingly hard to promote. He also said that he worked harder than ever for this movie, and then he became emotional and started to tear up a bit, ending his speech by thanking fans for their support. While some netizens have expressed sympathy for him, saying that his passion needs to be recognized, many have reacted harshly, with some saying that his tears were fake and others arguing that he shouldn't cry because he was still paid a lot of money regardless of the success of the movie. If this wasn't enough, Joong Ki has also been met with criticism for the way he talked about his wife in a recent video. While bragging about her cooking skills, he referred to his wife with a Korean word that can be translated to "that person," which is used in casual speech but is often considered a disrespectful term to use when talking about your partner. It seems like Joong Ki can't do anything right lately, with one flop after another and a lot of controversial statements, and these issues have massively impacted his popularity and his position as a major star in the Korean entertainment world. Later this year, he's set to make his drama return with a leading role in the series My Youth, and it will be interesting to see if this project will mark a resurgence for his career or if it will be yet another flop.